June and Jennifer were born on April 11th, 1963 in Barbados, but raised in the UK in a small Welsh town called Haverfordwest. They were the only black children in their school, and they faced constant bullying and racism. But it wasn't just that. From early childhood, the girls became inseparable and disturbingly silent. They spoke only to each other in a strange, rapid dialect, an idiosyncratic mix of Barbadian Creole and English that sounded like gibberish to others. Even when one twin was spoken to directly, the other would answer. Their teachers and therapists described it as eerie, almost unnatural. They walked in sync, moved in sync, and behaved like one person split into two bodies. As they grew into teenagers, their private world deepened. They kept extensive journals and wrote fiction, disturbing fiction, stories of chaos, violence, and twisted romance. June once wrote, "We have become fatal enemies in each other's eyes." Despite their shared identity, a dark rivalry grew. One couldn't thrive while the other did. They believed that in order for one to truly live, the other had to die. Eventually, they began committing petty crimes, arson, vandalism, burglary, not for profit, but to break free from their mental prison. They were caught, and then they were sentenced. At age 19, both girls were sent to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric facility in England meant for the criminally insane. They were held there for 11 years. Inside Broadmoor, they grew worse, heavily medicated, locked away from the outside world. Nurses reported seeing them sit for hours without moving, or sometimes suddenly burst into identical laughter. One would stop eating, and so would the other. It was like they shared the same soul. But in private, their rivalry festered. Jennifer began to write about death. In her diary, she said, "We have made a pact. One of us will have to die." And the other twin seemed to agree. In 1993, doctors decided to move the twins to a lower security facility. It was seen as a step toward freedom. But on the car ride to the new hospital, Jennifer, seemingly healthy, suddenly collapsed. She leaned her head on June's shoulder and never woke up. She was rushed to the hospital but declared dead upon arrival. The cause of death? Sudden, unexplained inflammation of the heart. No signs of trauma. No poison. No illness. She was 29 years old. It was like she willed herself to die. After Jennifer's death, something unbelievable happened. June began to speak, clearly, normally. She was released from the hospital a year later. Today, June lives a quiet life. She rarely speaks about her sister. She once said, "We were one. We had to become two. But one of us had to go." To this day, no one fully understands the psychological bond the twins shared. Was it shared psychosis, something supernatural, or just the power of belief? But one thing remains chillingly certain. The silent twins held a terrifying truth, that some bonds can be stronger than life itself.